Hello everybody, welcome to Deluxe Collectibles, and today I wanted to discuss whether or not I think we should get more Lego Ninjago Brickheadz sets, and I wanted to talk about this specifically because of course recently we did see us get some new Ninjago Brickheadz in the form of a 3-pack that was basically a promotional set but then was available afterwards for purchase separately, but of course that included a golden version of Lloyd, we got Samurai X, and then the Firstborn Dragon as well. Quite a mishmash of characters there, but it kind of makes me think if we should end up getting more Ninjago Brickheadz. And of course, this would specifically depend on whether or not that wound up selling well. Of course, as a promo, I mean, you still had to pay for it. It wasn't completely a free promo, but I'm wondering afterwards, after that initial promotion, if it did wind up selling well. And of course, I think that would definitely dictate to Lego if we would wind up seeing more Ninjago Brickheadz. But I also kind of want to speculate about what I would like to see if they were to expand the Brickheadz line. Now, personally, I don't collect any of the Brickheadz. I'm not opposed to them. I actually really like the designs, but it's just something that I didn't want to dip my toes into because I didn't want to get consumed by it and then feel like I gotta collect a bunch of them, because that's the thing with something like this. And of course, it's very smart on Lego's part, but it kind of, if you get one, and considering the fact that they're all kind of numbered, it kind of makes you have that collector tendency of wanting to get all of them. That's something that you see in basically every wave of Lego sets for a specific theme. Let's say Ninjago for Seabound, for instance. Of course, I want to try to get all of the Seabound sets just to say that I can have a complete collection of them, but also I kind of want to be smart money-wise with like kind of how I gotta budget the sets, and I kind of like to plan it out to make sure I can get all of the new minifigures, but then also get some of the sets where I like the builds as well. So it's kind of that situation, but I feel like with Brickheadz, I didn't want to dip too much into it. But for the actual Brickheadz, I would love to see them do like all of the ninja. Of course, I think that would definitely be something that we should see at some point for Brickheadz. It seems to be that they're still continuing the line pretty strongly as well. Of course, we see a lot of seasonal Brickheadz, I see mostly, and of course that's unlicensed characters, so I think that it could see a bright future for Ninjago specifically, because of course that's something that Lego owns, that's their license. So I think it would be interesting to see them expand that. I would love to see things like, of course, all of the main ninja. I would love to see the villains as well. Garmadon Brickheadz would be really fantastic to see. Of course, two others that we did receive a long time ago were for the Lego Ninjago movie with Lloyd and then Sensei Wu as well, or Master Wu, I suppose. But I think that it would just be really cool for them to expand that. There's so many characters from Ninjago and so many main characters as well, because I'm not asking for them to make more minor characters. Of course, I think that would be a little bit more unrealistic, even though in that promotion set, I mean, it was quite a mishmash of characters. I mean, Samurai X, not as relevant of a sort of persona for Nia nowadays, so that was a little bit odd. Now, granted, it was under the Legacy banner, so it does kind of make more sense in that instance, and is interesting why they would add the Firstborn to that as well, because of course that's from Hunted. I don't really see why that was added. It doesn't really make a lot of sense considering that, of course, the Firstborn's cool, but is it really the most relevant at the moment? I feel like it would have been better to give us one of the classic versions of the ninja. I feel like that would have had more relevance, but I understand as well it's a promotional set. I'm sure there were some decisions budget wise on how they wanted to do it and not have to include any exclusive parts as well in the set for new prints or anything of that sort. So I think it does make sense still with the character choices there, but there's so many cool ones that I would love to see variations of characters, like of course like an NRG version of Nia I think would be so cool. There's just so many different variations that you can do with that, and I think it can kind of become its own thing as well, where you can just feel like, okay, I just want to collect the Ninjago ones. If you're a fan of just that series specifically and that theme as a whole, then you won't feel as much pressure, I think, to kind of collect all of the other Brickheadz. You'll kind of have your own separate thing, and I think that would make a lot of sense for Lego. So I think having more Brickheadz for Ninjago would be really great. Now, for myself, I don't want to be too tempted by them, because I definitely think if they did start to do more, I would feel a little bit more tempted to want to start to pick them up, and I kind of don't want that. But of course, I also do want to see them do some of the designs that we've seen throughout Ninjago in Brickheadz form and see it translated into that forms, because I think it would be really interesting. But let me know all of your thoughts on Lego Brickheadz down below, and if you would like to see more for Ninjago specifically, and just in general, what are your thoughts on it as a whole. But thanks so much for checking out the video. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like down below. Also subscribe as well if you would like to check out some some of my other content, that would be highly appreciated. So thank you so much. I will see you all next time, and always remember, keep on collecting.